So it's been a while. We were meant to be catching up with you on our way down to Farley. Farley didn't go as planned, so I'll get into that in a minute. But it means we're going to be having a change of pace on the channel, really, and a change of direction. So we'll jump out of the Transit and we'll get in the Golf, and then I'll carry on updating you from there. So this is our Transit RS edition that we'll be doing some work on, and this is our Golf GT diesel. So the Golf GT, well, GT TDI, as it was back in 2010. We haven't driven this at all since we got back from the NC 500. So we're now in the middle of October. We finished the NC 500 in June, so it sat there for a little while. Now the reason it sat there for a little while is obviously we were getting all the bikes and everything ready to go and race at Farley. So when we were racing at Farley, like I say, not everything went to plan. Unfortunately, I only got a couple of laps in for practice because I didn't get time to shake down the bike. So went out pretty much blind on the bike. I knew it ran, started in the garden, settled the clutch up a bit, but apart from that, didn't really have a clue at how it was going to run. So I went out, needed to fix a few things, needed to tweak the brakes, so I came back in. Dad was 2 groups behind me. Now, obviously you saw that we brought the KX 250 1988 for Dad. Great bike, lovely bike, absolutely brilliant. Now, Dad went out in the over 50s Evo, came round, looked really comfortable on the bike. I got a little bit of footage of him. Unfortunately, coming down the steps on the second lap, we don't know what happened, but Dad had a really big accident. Now, when he had that big accident, he ended up breaking his femur, dislocating his hip, breaking his pelvis, breaking his collarbone. He did like 6 ribs, broke his wrist. He really did foobar himself.
So that actually turned into, well, I think 2 or 3 weeks in hospital. He had to have a full hip replacement, but luckily he's back on his feet, and hopefully won't be too long and he'll be back walking properly.
So that kind of put everything into perspective for me. So obviously now me, well, not obviously, but me and Abby have a little one that's due. We've got a little baby girl that's due. She's due on the 23rd of December, so right before Christmas. And when we're solely relying on my income, if I had an injury or anything in the same sort of level as Dad, we'd be foobarred. You know, there's no way we'd be able to live, no way we'd be able to cope. So both my CR250s are up for sale. My KX F450 is up for sale. Also, Dad's 1988 KX 250 is up for sale. Dad's decided he's had enough as well. So we're going to be changing what we do on the channel. And I'm going to go back to where I started, Silverback. We're going to be doing some more stuff with the cars. So this car, like I say, it's sat for a long time now. So I'm going to get it's got a bit of a drone that's coming from the back left, and that started when we were on the NC 500. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that fixed. I'm going to work out what that is. We'll do that with you guys. We'll get an MOT put on it because it's only got about 3 weeks left on the MOT, and then this one will be sold. The Transit RS Custom, there's a few bits that we've got to do on that. So I brought that as an MOT failure. Did the work that I needed to put on for the MOT. I didn't record it. There's still a few bits that I need to do, like it's got a problem with the glow plugs that I need to sort out, especially coming into winter. That's going to make it a lot more difficult to start, and a few bits like that, and it needs a good service. Or both vehicles will have a service. We'll do work on both of them, and then they'll both be sold. But I'll be getting Dad a Mark II ST225. Now when we get that Mark II ST225, we are going to play with it. We're going to do some work with it. We're going to try and get some better horsepower out of them. They come as 225 as standard. We want that up over 340. We're just going to generally play with it, you know. We're probably going to get a higher mileage example that's not been very well looked after, and we'll do all the work to bring it back to its former glory. Once Dad's is done, then we're going to do one for ourselves. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to finish doing a little test run in the Golf just to see if there's any other noises or anything that I forgot about. Give it a good run, because like I say, it's literally sat on the driveway with the handbrake off for, well, what's it, over 3 months now. It's gone absolutely nowhere. So yeah, we're just going to put some diesel in because we're a little bit low. Price of diesel at the minute is ridiculous. So I don't know if you'll be able to see that on the camera, but regular diesel there at the minute, that's 167. It's absolutely crazy. So don't get me wrong, this isn't the most expensive car in the world or anything. It's sat on the driveway for 3.5 months. And I've got in it and it just drives great. I remember why I love this car. Alright, yes, the brakes are a little bit dirty. The brakes could do with cleaning up. So I'll get that sorted. It didn't long have new brakes on it before I went and did the NC500. Then I did the NC500 in this and it did not miss a beat. I mean, like some of the NC500 video, which is now live on our YouTube channel, part 1 and part 2. The views, the roads, everything about it is absolutely stunning. It's absolutely gorgeous. So this didn't miss a beat all the way around the NC500. We did, I think it was 1,700 miles by the time we'd finished in 3.5 days. And this thing handled it like a charm. The best thing about it is it averaged 64 miles per gallon, even on those long runs up through the mountains, the twisty roads. This still averaged 64 miles per gallon, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. So I did all of those 1,700 miles on 2.5 tanks of fuel. That's it, 2.5 tanks. You know, I've just filled up now from what was in it. Well, sorry, didn't fill up. I put 15 quid in, and that's got us to 1/3 of a tank. So it's great what you can get out of this car. And you know, for a car that's sat for 3 months, I just can't believe, like, it's just driving exactly like it was before. The wheel bearing drone was the only thing that I started to get on the end of the NC500. So that's what I'm going to sort out. Okay, so we're going to use our Carly here just to quickly scan the car, check to see if there's any codes that we don't know about, and then we'll go through what we're going to be doing to fix this one up. So just going to plug our Carly under here into the OBD2 port, and we'll get it connected. Okay, so we've got the ignition on, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop the Carly up on the screen so you can see it now. So you can see I've used it on my Ford Transit Custom. I've also used it on my granddad's Mercedes E-Class. I've set this Volkswagen Golf up already, and I've used it on our 2018 Tiguan. So I'm going to select the Golf, as that's the one we're scanning now. We're going to, look, it says we need to do a check, so we're going to do a check now. Connect to the Golf. So you need to have the Carly plugged into the OBD2, ignition on, and you can see now that it's connecting to the car. And in a second we'll clear any codes that are currently on there, and then we'll rerun it. Okay, so we're now ready to connect, and we're going to run diagnostics, check for issues. So we've got a few things we know we need to fix. None of them throw up any warning lights, so hopefully it comes back all clear, but you never know what's going to come up. So 0 issues found. All right, brilliant. So yeah, we've got no issues on the Carly, which is great. We can cancel that because we check for issues. Now, the other great thing with Carly is, especially on the VAG Group cars and BMW, it unlocks coding. Now, we're going to check for coding possibilities. This is obviously an older car. On my Tiguan, which is 8 years newer than this, it lets you customize loads of stuff with the dashboard, loads of stuff with the radio system, turn on Apple CarPlay, all sorts of stuff like that. So it's great for unlocking and sorting features. Sorry, I know I'm really rough. Me and the missus have got a bit of a cold. So, number of compatible ECUs that it can code, it's got 5. So we can look at things like the alarm system, the central lock-in, that we can edit on there. Every time you go into one, it's gonna bring up the ECU and tell you exactly what you can unlock. So this might be a little bit slower, but I'll cut some bits out and speed this bit up for you. So look, we can set things like daytime running lights, have the fog lights running, all the low beams, one touch turn signal, coming home lights, we can keep those on. Things like welcome lights, all the footwell lights, everything. There's obviously, look, there's loads of different things that we can do. Auto locking on and everything like that. So there's absolutely tons of functions that you can do. We can also make the comfort sunroof open with the comfort windows. So at the minute, if I hold down the unlock key, all the windows open. We can also make the sunroof go down as part of that as well. And there's loads of things on there. You can also do it for like the instrument cluster. A common thing on this that a lot of people like is to put the needle sweep on. So it's where all the gauges go back and forwards. And then the other thing you can turn off is like the seatbelt buzzers. I don't know why you want to do that, just wear your seatbelt. And for the cars with the dreaded start stop, auto start stop, you can turn that off as well. So yeah, that's all good. We're done with the Carly for now on this one, so I'm going to go through a few things we know we need to fix for you. So apart from doing a service, there's also a few more things we need to do on this car. Now if I swing you around here, you can see that the heater and aircon, no matter what it's set on, won't work on 1, 2 or 3, but it'll work on 4. Okay, so there is a resistor in the glove box we need to change. We're going to get that done, get that sorted. We've then got some other bits that we're going to be doing, so just little bits to get it to where it needs to be. So you can see both of the boot struts are weeping, so we're going to change those. We've got where it's had the crash on this side here. Just get that in where I can't see it there. We're just going to get that fixed, get that sorted. We're going to do a few subtle improvements to the look. We're going to hopefully wrap the roof and then fix up the bodywork. Now the previous owner to this car actually did a lot of work to make it look like the GTI. So it's got the GTI wheels on it, which we'll show you from this side here. And it's got a few bits on the front, so like when you see the car from the front, it's got the facelift grille. So we're going to redo some of that because we put that on, I'm going to say 7, maybe 8 years ago. I'll find out the exact time because I did it with my sister and my brother-in-law. So there's a few things here, like I think it's probably 8 or 10 years ago. Obviously we resprayed this to colour match, so we'll refix that, make that better and just get it back to its former glory. So for right now, first things first, we're going to give it a wash, try and get out some of the plants that are growing everywhere. We're going to hit it with some citrus pre-wash, hit it with some snow foam, get it cleaned up. And yeah, I've got the parts on order for some of the work that we want to do. Obviously we're going to do both the rear shocks as well, and we've got to change one of those rear wheel bearings. Now the rear wheel bearing is going to be a bit of a pain in the arse on a set of trolley jacks, but we're going to give it a go anyway. So I'm going to do a quick montage of giving it a clean and then see you there. The parts might be turning up by then. It's a Saturday now, so they could still arrive, but they might not. So for those of you who want to know what I'm using to clean the car today, it's made by a company called Starngloss. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Starngloss. I didn't actually buy this. I won it in a competition off 7 Days Performance. So I thought I'd give it a go. It seems to work really well. Snow foam's quite nice. The acid cleaner's got all the plants out of the windows. So yeah, I'll try and find a link to it. But seems alright. Seems pretty good. Tried the wheel cleaner there as well. It's a colour changing wheel cleaner, but yeah, nice kit. I don't know how expensive it is, but like I say, I'll try and find out. I'll put a link in the description. So I'm sorry guys, I know it's been a lot of talking, but that's it for today's video. Unfortunately the parts didn't arrive, so as soon as we get those we'll get cracking. Obviously the nights are coming in now. We're on Sunday, just editing the video, and yeah, it's going to start getting dark about 4:30, so it's going to be pretty difficult to sort some stuff out. So I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks for being with us this long. Like I said, I know it's a lot of talking, but we'll get the action coming from the next one. I'll see you soon. Ta-ra.